Have you ever paused to consider how truly powerful sound is in your life? Think about it. A particular piece of music can instantly wrap you in comfort, lift your spirits, or even make you feel like you could conquer the world. Or, conversely, a sudden jarring noise can send a jolt of adrenaline through you, making your heart pound even before your brain fully processes why. Sound isn't just something we hear, it's a fundamental, pervasive force, constantly moving us, shaping our moods, and profoundly influencing our physical and mental state.
It's remarkable, isn't it, that universal experience of sound is incredibly powerful. Just reflecting on a time music helped you focus, or maybe a jarring sound completely shattered your concentration. It immediately highlights how deeply intertwined sound is with our daily existence. Often we don't even consciously realize its full impact until we, start to dig a little deeper.
Absolutely. And that's precisely our mission today. To take a deep dive into the profound and often surprising impact of sound on the human brain and our overall well-being. We're going to unpack the fascinating science of sound, delve into the truly transformative therapeutic power of music, and then uncover the often overlooked and quite significant detrimental effects of noise pollution.
Yeah, and this deep dive is built upon a really captivating collection of sources, ranging from cutting-edge neuroscience research to comprehensive medical studies. It offers a truly holistic perspective. And as we navigate this complex landscape, we'll introduce some more advanced vocabulary, roughly at a B2 to C1 level, to enrich your understanding and give you the precise language to discuss these intricate concepts.
Okay, so let's begin by grounding ourselves in the fundamental question. What is sound? We encounter it constantly, but at its core. Well, sound is quite simply vibrations. These vibrations travel as waves through different mediums, whether it's air, water, or even solid objects. You can visualize it as a ripple emanating outwards from a source, but like in 3 dimensions, carrying energy as it moves.
Exactly. And these sound waves possess distinct physical properties that ultimately dictate how we perceive them. First, there's frequency, which determines the pitch. A higher frequency translates to a higher pitch, like the sharp, piercing sound of a piccolo or a whistle. Conversely, a lower frequency gives us that deep, resonant rumble, perhaps of a cello or a low bass drum.
And that wave has another crucial characteristic. Its wavelength. This is inversely related to frequency, meaning as frequency goes up, the wavelength gets shorter. This actually matters because it affects how sound interacts with its environment and how far it can travel before dissipating. Then we have amplitude, which dictates the loudness or intensity of a sound. A greater amplitude means a louder sound. Imagine the booming sound of a rock concert compared to the quietest whisper, which has a much smaller amplitude. Makes sense?
Right. Now, making sense of these mere vibrations is where our brain truly shines. It's an incredibly sophisticated and intricate process. When sound waves reach our ears, specialized hair cells in the inner ear perform a remarkable feat. They convert these physical vibrations into electrical signals. These signals then embark on a rapid journey via the auditory nerves, arriving at the auditory cortex, which is a dedicated processing center deep within the brain.
And once there, the auditory cortex acts like a master interpreter, meticulously analyzing various aspects of the sound. It discerns the pitch, of course, but also the timbre, that unique quality or color of a sound that allows you to distinguish, say, a trumpet from a violin, even when they're playing the exact same note. It also processes spatial location, letting us know precisely where a sound is coming from in our environment, which is crucial for navigation and safety, yeah.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. Sound's influence isn't confined to just the auditory cortex. It ignites a vast and incredibly diverse network of brain regions. This includes areas deeply involved in emotion, like the limbic system, regions orchestrating movement, such as the motor cortex, and even areas absolutely vital for memory. This widespread simultaneous activation is precisely what makes listening to music a total brain workout. The brain's astonishing ability to perceive a series of sounds not just as noise, but as coherent, emotionally resonant music is staggeringly complex. It demands all these different brain regions to work in concert. It's a true symphony within our own minds.
That truly highlights the sheer complexity and raw power of sound. And speaking of power, let's shift our focus to the truly remarkable, positive affections of music, what we can think of as the pros. Music isn't merely entertainment or a pleasant diversion. Our sources describe it consistently as transformative and an invaluable tool for healing. It's a powerful biological and psychological force, capable of fundamentally reshaping our internal state and even our brain's architecture.
Absolutely. Music has a proven capacity to provide profound solace and comfort, significantly reducing the burden of stress, anxiety, depression, and even chronic physical pain. And this isn't just anecdotal evidence. Listening to calming music actively triggers the release of endorphins, our body's natural painkillers and pleasure chemicals. It also boosts serotonin, a crucial neurotransmitter vital for mood regulation, and dopamine, the feel-good hormone deeply associated with the brain's reward system. So this isn't just about feeling good, then it's about music actively, chemically, rewiring your brain for well-being. It's a physiological response, not just an emotional one.
So, if I'm understanding this, calming music isn't just mentally soothing, it actually physically shifts our brain into a relaxed state. That's incredible to think about. I read that music played around 60 beats per minute, for example, can cause the brain to actually synchronize with the beat, producing alpha brainwaves. And this particular brainwave pattern is indicative of a relaxed, conscious state, promoting a sense of tranquility and deep relaxation. Some musical interventions are even shown to have an analgesic effect, basically pain relief, by promoting endorphin secretion.
Precisely. And beyond just mood and relaxation, music can also significantly enhance our cognitive functions, boosting aspects like memory and learning speed. For instance, studies indicate that classical music from masters like Mozart, Beethoven, and Bach can genuinely aid learning retention. What's more, familiar songs have this uncanny ability to powerfully evoke past memories, which is particularly profound beneficial for those grappling with dementia or Alzheimer's. I mean, imagine the power of remembering an entire song like Happy Birthday when little else can be recalled. It's truly a testament to music's unique access to our memory banks.
Yeah, that's powerful. And for anyone looking to boost concentration and focus, instrumental tracks are often the unsung heroes. Their structured patterns and melodic progressions seem to encourage mental clarity and prevent your mind from wandering, making studying or deep work much more efficient.
Music also serves as an incredibly potent emotional outlet, providing a safe space for people to cope with difficult emotions like grief, fear, or sadness. It's especially beneficial for those who are grieving or suffering from trauma or PTSD, offering a nonverbal means to process complex feelings. In fact, music therapy is an evidence-based practice with widespread applications, effectively addressing physical, emotional, cognitive, and social needs. It can even facilitate communication, which is especially crucial for those facing language barriers.
The cultural context is also incredibly important here, right? Different cultures associate unique meanings and emotional resonance with various genres. Personalized music therapy acknowledges this, allowing it to bridge communication gaps and truly transcend language barriers, even by incorporating hybrid musical forms that blend different traditions. It deeply respects individual backgrounds and enhances the therapy's relatability and effectiveness.
Exactly. And we've seen truly remarkable applications in specific neurological conditions. Take stroke recovery, for instance, particularly for patients with aphasia. That's a condition where language production or comprehension is impaired due to brain damage. Melodic intonation therapy, or MIT, is a striking example. It allows patients to sing words or phrases they cannot otherwise say. The story of Laurel, who suffered a massive stroke at just 11 years old, is incredibly powerful. She found her way back to language by engaging undamaged right hemisphere areas of her brain, leading to long-term gains from profound changes in her neural circuitry. It's incredible how the brain can find new pathways.
That's genuinely moving, to think that music can unlock a connection when so much else is lost. It really underscores the fundamental link between music and memory, doesn't it? And it doesn't stop there. For individuals with impaired motor skills, music-supported training, like playing piano or tapping on drum pads, has shown significant improvements in timing, precision, and smoothness for stroke survivors. For Parkinson's patients who experience the degeneration of cells vital for movement and consequently struggle with impaired motor skills, rhythmic auditory stimulation, or rhythmic entrainment, helps to allay symptoms and improve walking velocity, cadence, that's the rhythm of walking, and stride length. It's like music helps them resync their internal rhythm.
Indeed. In cases of dementia and Alzheimer's, music continues to amaze. It stimulates memory, encourages movement, and evokes emotional responses in ways few other interventions can. Familiar songs often trigger long-term memories even when short-term memory is severely compromised. June, an 89-year-old with severe dementia, was largely non-responsive until her daughter sang to her. She would then bang her hands, smile, and even blurt out a word or two. It illustrates how music can profoundly reduce agitation and boost morale.
That's incredibly impactful. And for children with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, music can be a unique bridge, helping them engage with others by activating brain areas related to social thinking. Interestingly, a disproportionate number of children with autism are musical savants, possessing exceptional musical abilities. Auditory motor mapping training has even enabled some nonverbal children to produce speech sounds, demonstrating music's profound effect on neuroplasticity. That's the brain's incredible capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life.
Right, and this adaptability is key to how music facilitates cognitive rehabilitation after injuries or developmental challenges.
And finally, for persistent and often debilitating conditions like tinnitus, that phantom ringing or buzzing in the ears, innovative approaches like notched music therapy and pitch imitation exercises can help train the brain to actually tune out those phantom sounds.
Effectively counteracting the neural dysfunction in the auditory cortex that causes them. It's quite ingenious, actually.
What's truly encouraging about music therapy is its inherent accessibility. It's relatively inexpensive and basically free of side effects, which significantly encourages patient adherence and wider adoption. And the landscape is rapidly evolving with technological innovations. Think about mobile apps that deliver personalized therapy.
Yeah, or virtual reality creating these immersive environments for therapeutic engagement.
Hmm.
And even video conferencing tools like Harmony and Healing Zoom visits, which are expanding its reach, helping to refine treatment plans, and ultimately optimizing outcomes for patients globally.
It's becoming a scalable, low-risk, and widely applicable solution for mental and physical health.
Okay, so while music offers these incredible positive impacts, it's absolutely crucial to acknowledge the other side of our sonic environment, the pervasive, often overlooked presence that can actively undermine our well-being, noise pollution. This is precisely defined as the spread of unwanted sounds into the environment. It's alarmingly prevalent in urban settings, and our sources highlight it as an underreported factor despite its widespread and serious impact.
Yeah, it's far more than just a pesky irritant, as our sources describe it. This constant barrage of noise, the static in our lives, can have genuinely detrimental effects on our health, constantly chipping away at our well-being without us even realizing it sometimes.
Our brains are hardwired for survival, constantly monitoring sounds for any signs of danger, even when we're asleep. Frequent or loud noise triggers our primal fight-or-flight response, unleashing a cascade of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol into our system. The real problem is when this becomes chronic exposure. It keeps this stress response perpetually activated, leading to a state of low-level alarm and anxiety that never truly dissipates. It's like living in a constant low-grade emergency.
And think of noise as genuine static that gets in the way of clear communication and perception. It makes it incredibly difficult for the brain to filter sensory inputs and truly focus on what matters. What's even more concerning, especially for development, is that children exposed to noisier environments tend to have noisier brains overall. This means they exhibit less active speech processing regions, making it profoundly challenging for them to tune out the background cacophony and concentrate on important auditory cues like a teacher's voice.
What's particularly fascinating here is a condition called misophonia, where specific, usually innocuous sounds like chewing, breathing, or tapping trigger intense and disproportionate negative emotional responses in individuals. It highlights just how profoundly some brains are finely attuned to sounds others might not even notice, demonstrating the deep individual variability in how noise impacts us, and underscoring that for some, certain sounds can be genuinely agonizing.
And the health consequences are anything but minor. Loud sounds can directly cause hearing impairment by physically damaging the delicate hair cells in our inner ear and the auditory nerve itself, potentially leading to permanent hearing loss. Tinnitus, that persistent ringing or buzzing in the ears, is a very common and distressing result of noise exposure. Shockingly, studies reveal that 1 in 8 kids and teens already have permanent hearing damage from too much noise. That's staggering.
It really is.
Yeah.
And from a mental health perspective, unwanted sounds significantly increase our sensitivity to stress, leading to heightened irritability, frustration, and anger, especially if we perceive a loss of control over the noise. It's a pervasive cause of sleep disturbance, leading to difficulty falling or staying asleep, reduced sleep quality, and altered REM sleep, all of which critically impact mood, concentration, and overall cognitive function. Chronic noise exposure isn't just annoying, it's a significant risk factor for anxiety, depression, and chronic headaches.
Physiologically, high-frequency sounds can directly create states of alertness and tension in the body. Prolonged exposure to noise pollution can also significantly aggravate existing health conditions. For example, nighttime traffic noise is specifically and strongly linked to serious cardiovascular problems like high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke.
Yeah, this happens by consistently interfering with restful sleep and by chronically boosting those harmful stress hormones. Studies have even quantified this, showing increased anxiety medication use in communities near busy airports and higher depression rates in noisier urban neighborhoods. The link is quite clear.
And children, particularly, are incredibly vulnerable. Chronic exposure can cause permanent hearing changes, and it makes it profoundly challenging for them to learn. This affects their concentration, their ability to communicate effectively, their speech development, and ultimately, their overall cognitive performance.
There was a powerful study from the 1970s which looked at children living in noisier apartments. It showed they had measurable difficulty distinguishing similar-sounding words and significantly poorer reading skills. Furthermore, hypersensitivity to noise, where even normal sounds are experienced as painfully loud or overwhelming, can sometimes be a symptom of other underlying conditions, highlighting the multifaceted impact of sound.
Okay, so after exploring both sides of this sonic coin, what does all of this mean for you? This raises an important question. How can you consciously manage your own sonic environment to maximize the profound benefits that sound can offer and simultaneously minimize the very real harms of unwanted noise? It's about being an active participant in shaping your personal soundscape.
Exactly. First, let's talk about harnessing music's incredible power. Don't just let music be background noise. Engage with it actively. Make time to truly listen. Try exploring new music genres. Our sources suggest that new music challenges the brain in a way old, familiar music doesn't, literally forcing it to struggle to understand these new auditory patterns, which is a fantastic brain workout.
Use music strategically in your daily life, perhaps, to help you recall memories, or as a catalyst to boost your creativity. And here's a crucial insight. Pay close attention to how different music makes you feel. What helps one person achieve laser-like concentration might be a significant distraction to another. For maximum brain and overall well-being benefits, consider combining music with aerobic and social activities, like dancing.
Right. Now, on the flip side, mitigating noise's harms is just as crucial for your health. Make it a habit to use ear protection, like earplugs or earmuffs, whenever you're in loud environments. Whether it's a concert, mowing the lawn, or enduring a noisy subway ride. This is essential to prevent permanent hearing loss and the onset of tinnitus.
And be incredibly mindful of the volume on your media devices and headphones. Here's a simple, practical tip. If your mom is sitting next to you at arm's length, you should be able to have a normal conversation with her, even with your headphones on, without needing to shout. If you can't, the volume is definitely too loud. Simple as that.
Also, take conscious steps to minimize distracting noises in your immediate environment, such as silencing text notifications. Maybe easier said than done, but worth trying. Try creating designated quiet time at home, specifically for reading, hobbies, or simply silent contemplation. You can also physically modify your space by considering soundproofing measures like insulation, thicker rugs, or heavy curtains to muffle external sounds.
And finally, develop robust coping strategies for stress, such as regular exercise, meditation, or mindfulness practices. These healthy habits can directly combat the physiological and mental effects of unavoidable noise in your daily life. These might seem like small, conscious changes, but they can collectively make a truly profound difference to your long-term health and well-being.
So we've taken a deep dive into the profound dual impact of sound, from music's incredible healing modalities and its capacity for cognitive enhancement, to noise's quite serious detrimental effects on our mental and physiological well-being. Sound is far more than just what we hear. It deeply permeates and shapes our emotions, our thoughts, and our very physical state.
You truly have the power to consciously influence your own sonic landscape. We encourage you to be more mindful of the sounds that surround you every day, both the harmonious melodies you actively invite into your life and the unwanted static you might be able to reduce. Consider how this heightened awareness can fundamentally transform your daily experience and profoundly impact your long-term health. Keep diving deep into the fascinating connections between our brains and the world around us.